Konnichiwa. This is a video about karate. This video started forming in my brain way back in the distant summer of last one, when me and everyone else on the planet were in theaters watching the major motion picture Barbie. Now that movie was pretty good, but there was one thing about it that I found kind of weird. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. Oh, wow. I mean, I didn't expect this, but I really do deserve it. There was one moment in that movie that unlocked a tiny little repressed memory in my tiny little repressed brain. It was the part where Ken says that he's renamed Barbie's dream house to Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House. And while everyone else was sitting there laughing at Ryan Gosling's funny hair and funny horses and funny patriarchy, I was just kind of staring at the screen in terror, just looking like fucking Oppenheimer in the theater across the hall. What formed in my mind was an apocalyptic picture, a vision of a tool of violence unlike anything the world could even comprehend. A device of pure destruction, a monument to man's hubris, a weapon that if used would make every man, woman, and child wish that it had destroyed the world entirely rather than leave us to live in the hell that we've created. And it also kind of looks like a dog's penis. This is... I don't really know what to call it, actually, but now it's your problem, too. I do know it's a karate training kit sold under the not particularly creative name of Black Belts. You may also notice that it's produced by Spin Master, the company behind such brands as Bakugan, Hatchimals, and the only kind of toothpaste they had left at the store. I'm not 100% sure what my connection is to this thing, other than the fact that I definitely had it at some point. I might have received it for my birthday or Christmas or something like that, but I'm just remembering it now, which means that it left some kind of trauma with me, which should be the goal of any gift you give a child. Great work, Mom. The set consisted of 3 items, a heavy bag, a mat, and a copy of the fucking Bible. What probably made this set stand out to whoever bought it for me was the inclusion of an instructional DVD called Tommy Nitro's Karate Adventure. If you've never heard of Tommy Nitro, then don't worry about it. I'm sure the lawyer who spent a week of his life getting him trademarked doesn't mind at all. Now, I don't have the mat or the bag with me, but that's only because they wouldn't fit in my suitcase when I moved to Europe. But I was able to find the contents of the DVD online. It's one of those great kinds of instructional videos that goes the extra mile by contextualizing everything it's telling you with characters and a story. So what we end up getting is a particularly bad episode of a Nickelodeon sitcom that stops every 5 minutes to tell kids to start throwing elbows. Though I don't know, maybe they do the same thing in Paw Patrol too. I've only ever read the manga. And the best part is, if this video gets me to the self-defense level of a small, capable child, I might even be able to stand up to the bully who keeps coercing me into buying them lunch.
I'm your fiance.
I hate my wife. All right, now let me just hit play on this video I've presumably seen multiple times, considering I've written a script about it in order to create the illusion that I'm watching along with the audience for the first time.
Black belts forever!
Karate rule number 1. Go for the ears. The jump scare that opens up this karate instructional video for 3-year-olds is far from the last audio issue this video has. I'll be sure to point each of them out as we reach them. Ah, fuck, here's one now.
Tommy Nitro was living in a town just like yours.
Now, saying music is badly mixed is often a shallow criticism used by people who don't know anything about music to critique anything that doesn't sound exactly like they expect it to. Kind of like me right now. Why is this so badly mixed? This theme song sounds like shit in a way that I'm pretty sure is, I guess, genuine? Like, I guess it is possible that the audio quality got horribly compressed at some point in its journey to the internet, but the rest of the video sounds fine.
Personal best!
Awesome!
Okay, it sounds like 2005, but still, I think that's just how it was made. It's so noisy, I can barely make out any individual elements except for the random sound effects they littered throughout for some reason.
Just like something.
Oh hey, that house is bisexual, good for it. If you can make out the lyrics, then they'll let you know that this opening scene is an origin story of the titular Tommy Nitro, who starts off as an everyday kid who's obsessed with comic books and movies about karate. Specifically, he's obsessed with a character named Sensei Nobu and his enemies, the Crimson Sausage Gang. Get it? Because this looks like a sausage and you're gonna be punching it, so it's like you're punching them. Pretend I said that earlier. The dog penis thing was weird. And Tommy really is a huge fan. He's got the comics, the movies. He's drawn it all over his backpack. He's drawn it all over his homework. This guy is absolutely, oh my God, is that the volume 4 DVD of What's New, Scooby-Doo? That one's got the Christmas special and the Toy Factory episode where they reveal the culprit, but then Velma realizes it was the wrong guy and they have to go back and solve the mystery again. That one's so fucking cool. So he's a loser who has interests. But then one day, everything changes for Tommy when this happens. I love that reaction so much. It's so perfect. It really is so authentic. I mean, what else would you do other than just go, whoa, what the fuck? Incredible acting on that shot, dude. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, like that. So the characters in Tommy's comic book come to life in a big tornado. They stand there and stare at him for a few seconds, and then he suddenly turns into a fucking skunk. I mean, a karate master, baby.
It's lightning fast, Tommy Nitro karate do.
Okay, I don't want to speak too soon. I don't know who these guys are or what kind of war crimes they're guilty of, but I just want to get out in front of it and say that I support them completely no matter what. I mean, that guy is right. Those moves were lame as hell. Lightning fast. Don't make me laugh.
It's lightning.
Yeah, like that. The video now takes us to the Black Belt Dojo located in the mountains outside of town, where we get not 1, but 2 segues into the next segment.
He'll teach you the moves in the dojo.
This seems a little bit excessive. Here, Tommy properly introduces himself as well as his 2 other students.
Hi, Sensei Tommy!
What's up, Scotty? Jason, my man.
Okay, seems like there might be a little bit of favoritism there. What's up, everyone? Today, you're gonna be training with my man, Jason. Let me tell you, he is so cool, dude. He can do a backflip. He's been to Japan a single time, okay? This dude fucking rocks. I love this guy. And there's also Scott. Karate rule number 2. Fuck Scotty. Oh, and also, if you were wondering why I brought up Barbie in the beginning of the video, here's your answer.
We are ready, Sensei Tommy!
That's using your dojo mojo. Dojo mojo.
I mean, this definitely isn't the first time people have used the words dojo and mojo right next to each other. I mean, off the top of my head, there's that guy from the Powerpuff Girls, Mojo Jojo. So you can go ahead and add him to the conspiracy board. I don't know, maybe this is one of his nefarious schemes. I just think it's interesting the way that 2 completely unrelated pieces of media can get linked in someone's mind. It's an important reminder of the way that films influence everyone in different ways, and an example of why filmmakers need to realize that they can never really be sure of how their work will influence the audience. It reminds me of an old Alfred Hitchcock quote. He once said, "I never actually believed in birds until..." Wait a second, no, come back, come here, let me do a video essay for 1 second. One thing that will immediately strike you when watching this as an adult is just how quickly this video tells the parents or guardians who bought this for their kids that they're in for a bad time. Like, just as a hypothetical, if you bought a toy for your kid, what's something that that toy could do that would potentially annoy you? What's that? What did you say? Sorry, I can't hear you over this fucking video.
Don't be shy to repeat after me. The louder, the better. Kia!
Cat! Cat! Cat!
Even louder.
Just imagine being a parent and watching Tommy tell your kids to scream at the top of their lungs, knowing that you just made your life a living hell for the week they're gonna be obsessed with this guy. You thought you just bought them a fun little toy that's going to encourage them to get active, and instead a teenager bursts on your TV like, "Yeah, better go get the Tylenol now, buddy. I'm about to turn your toddler into an acoustic weapon." The first lesson of this video is about stances, which are apparently a thing in karate.
Now we're gonna learn to bow.
Yeah, that about covers it, huh? Step 1 of learning how to bow. Fucking bow. Tommy also instructs us that in his dojo, this is actually called a rei.
Because rei in Japanese means bow.
A fact that Google Translate tells me isn't true, so I assume that it is. This is both a sign of respect for your opponents and another opportunity to shout something.
Rei!
Ray!
I like how they do this thing of throwing in the Japanese term to make it seem like you're learning something truly authentic, when in reality, they're just telling you to shout the word bow when you bow. It reminds me of this one tweet that I saw and I'm putting on screen now instead of coming up with an original joke about the situation. You can go ahead and read that and subconsciously project all of its comedy onto me. Look at me, I'm aggregating. It's at this point in the video that they decide to drop the most insane piece of lore that we could have possibly ever received.
Sensei Tommy?
What's up, Scotty Karate?
That seems like an insane coincidence. This kid's government name is Scotty Karate, born into the prestigious karate family, and he still can't compete with my man Jason?
Isn't that dangerous, Sensei Tommy?
Not if you do it correctly, Amazing Jason.
I'm sorry, Amazing Jason? That doesn't really rhyme, but it doesn't need to because he's not a fucking tryhard, okay, Scotty? Why don't you run home to your mommy, Dottie Karate, and your dad, fucking Lil Yachty Karate, I don't know.
How did you become a black belt's karate master?
Well, when I was young, I was really shy and didn't have much confidence.
Get ready, it's Tommy Nitro.
This seems like a weird moment for a cool musical cue, don't you think? Kinda seemed like he was about to get into some pretty intense shit there. You know, I was in a very dark place back then. I just felt so alone and hopeless that I had to wonder if life was even worth living anymore. I hate to say it, but there were even moments where I thought about taking my own life.
Get ready, it's Tommy Nitro.
So the next section is definitely the most confusing part of the entire video. It's basically a flashback showing us how Tommy began learning karate. And that's kind of weird because I was under the impression that that's what the opening scene had showed us. Remember that? Remember the good old days where everyone floated out of the comic book and we had a good laugh about it? Well, here's a sentence I didn't expect to say about a 30-minute instructional karate DVD. But I don't think that was canon. The basic premise of this flashback is that the Crimson Sausage Gang are real people in Tommy's town, and he started learning karate because they were bullying him and he wanted to defend himself. This is at odds with that opening scene, which seemed to depict the Crimson Sausage as fictional characters alongside Sensei Nobu, and they all magically came to life one day as part of some kind of magical event that also made Tommy instantly become a karate master. Those two versions of events seem pretty incompatible to me. I don't think they both could have happened unless we're in Tommy Nitro's multiverse of madness. I guess maybe the opening scene could have happened first, and then the second scene doesn't happen until months later when Tommy actually begins learning karate with Sensei Nobu. I like that scenario because it imagines a situation in which Tommy accidentally brought his favorite fictional character to life, but it wasn't until months later when he had the thought, hey, I should hang out with that guy. And the Crimson Sausage all have to get jobs at McDonald's because they've been reverse isekai'd into Middle America. Wait a fucking minute, is Tommy Nitro's karate adventure a reverse isekai? This scene gives us a proper introduction to the Crimson Sausage Gang, who I am delighted to report have an entire theme song.
Here comes the Crimson Sausage. These goons think they have got all the moves. They got no karate knowledge. And without practice, we know that they will lose.
Fucking spoilers, jeez.
You got the Crimson Man. He's got a giant belly.
Once again, I have to come to this man's defense. His own theme song is fat-shaming him. That seems uncalled for. This whole song actually is pretty mean to the Crimson Sausage in general.
Booger's a dweeb, and Zip-It's brain is jelly.
I don't think they really get the point of villain songs. This is more of a diss track, I'm sure written by Scotty's dad, Lil Yachty Karate.
What were they saying? They pussy.
Usually you want to hype the villains up, you know, really make it seem like they're a challenge for our heroes to overcome. But instead, the moment these guys are introduced, we get a song about how they suck shit, are bad at karate, and are gonna get their asses kicked by Tommy fucking Nitro.
They kick and they boo. They don't have a clue. They're challenging you, Tommy.
Ugh. Thank God, I thought they were challenging me for a second. I just learned how to bow. But just when Tommy is feeling kind of down about all the bullying he's receiving from these grown adults, Sensei Nobu makes another miraculous entrance.
It can't be. Sensei Nobu?
Nobu.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Karate rule number 3. Completely unironically, that is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. The build-up to that sound effect, absolutely no way that wasn't 100% intentional. Originally, I was gonna do a whole little sketch about how funny that sound effect is, but I'm not because that wouldn't be nearly as funny as just watching the scene again.
Sensei Nobu?
Nobu.
You can click off the video now. There's not going to be anything else in this video that is remotely as funny as that scene. There's not, and nothing in your life is really gonna be as funny as that scene. So you can just kind of give up on that. There's nothing to look forward to, oh my God. After this super cool transition.
Kia! Kia! Kia!
Whoa.
We finally begin actually learning karate moves, beginning with blocks.
We learn blocks first to defend ourselves because there's no first attack in karate.
This is my impression of a fight between karate masters, if that statement was true. I understand why he says that. It's important to emphasize to kids that this is for self-defense purposes, not to be used to beat up your local Scotty, which wouldn't be hard because he sucks so bad. But I do have to question the usefulness of some of these blocks. Like, what's up with this one?
Outside block.
Like, I don't know anything about karate, but I really struggle to imagine any possible attack that could block. This one I get. It's like deflecting the punch above your head. This just feels like it's gonna kind of deflect the punch into a different part of your chest. Like, Tommy's doing it here, and it kind of just looks to me like he's excited that his mom told him she's making chicken nuggies. Honestly, I don't even think Jason could properly utilize this move.
Yeah!
Jason, you're a natural.
What can't he do?
What can he do?
What can he do?
What can he do?
He can't.
He can't do anything.
What can't he do?
Oh, he can do?
What can't he do?
Find love.
I hope not. He's a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Now you know what I'm going to show you next.
Breaking a board? Hi-ya!
Scotty, don't you think you should learn how to strike first?
Hey, Scotty, just bring it in for a second, Scotty. Come here. Just a little huddle up. If you don't get your shit together right fucking now, this family is going to disown you. Do you realize what you're doing to the karate family name? How are we supposed to keep up with the judo family next door? Have you seen how good their son is? Naruto Judo.
Make sure that your heavy bag is in the right spot. You can aim at the bullseyes if you want to hit high or low.
What do you mean hit low? Like you're just squaring up to fight and then punching their feet? I don't know. Is that gonna work? Karate rule number 4. Try punching their feet. I don't know.
Now for one of my favorites. This is used for close range.
Why would they put that shot in the final edit? My man Jason was just straight not paying attention and then snaps back to reality. But hey, at least he can convincingly land an attack, Scotty.
I will try it! Yeah!
Now it's time for something I know you've been waiting for.
Kicks?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Why does he say it like that? It's so silly. I am never saying yes again in my entire life. I'm just gonna say that. On my wedding day, instead of saying I do, I'm gonna say, oh yeah! When a cop pulls me over on the way home from the reception and asks if I've been drinking, I'm gonna say, oh yeah! When I'm in court for a DUI charge, I'm not going to plead guilty, I'm going to plead, oh yeah! And when my husband tells me that he's leaving me because I've recklessly endangered our future together with my poor decisions, I'm going to say, oh yeah! Because I hate my wife. Also, just gotta say, Scotty completely fucking missed the bag with that kick there. Common Scotty L. I'm really not trying to beat a dead horse with this Scotty thing. I'm just saying that Scotty probably couldn't beat a dead horse. He'd be like leaned over trying to punch its hooves, break his hand. The kicking section is pretty uneventful, except for the part where Tommy introduces the concept of katas, and more importantly, cues Sensei Nobu's sick theme song.
Let me tell you about the time Sensei Nobu taught me about katas.
Nobu.
A kata is a sequence of karate moves.
And that information immediately becomes relevant when
Here comes the crimson sausage.
apparently they took the shuttle bus to this remote mountain dojo in order to talk more shit to kids a fourth their age.
We were wondering if you and your posse here.
My karate team.
Karate team? Team? What's that supposed to mean?
Get a load of this guy. He doesn't even know about the third single from Lord's critically acclaimed debut album, Pure Heroin. What an idiot.
We challenge you to a kata.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me that this guy is aware of specific Japanese martial arts practices, but is not aware of the word team. What, does he learn words by going through the dictionary page by page, and so far he's only gotten to the letter S? Wait a second, that means that he doesn't know about tennis courts either. Oh my God, someone get this man some culture. The challenge comes with some pretty intense stakes that I can't say I expected.
The winner gets to stay in town. The loser has to leave forever.
I don't know how that's going to be enforced. Is one of their dads the mayor? Or maybe that's just how things work in this town. Maybe it's a karate-based Mad Max-style lawless wasteland. Everyone just worshiping a giant heavy bag in the middle of the desert. Maybe that's the mayor.
But Tommy,
Tommy, do you really think we can defeat the Crimson Gang?
Yeah, I don't know, Tommy.
Well, not with that attitude, Scotty. Pull yourself together for once. Get your game face on. What the fuck is that? Never mind, take it off. A lot of the remainder of this video isn't that interesting to watch, honestly. Sensei Nobu shows up again.
The Sensei Nobu? Whoa!
Which is good. I was beginning to wonder if he had died during the time skip. The next 5 minutes or so are just him barking out orders to do the moves that you learned earlier, but in different combinations. Pretty boring, honestly, except for the way that they teach you how to do the elbow strike.
Sensei says, rising block, elbow strike.
Why are we attacking our own hand? Is that part of the move? I noticed this earlier, but I thought maybe it had just been Jason doing the move wrong, but obviously that's impossible. He's amazing Jason. So I guess you're just supposed to hit your hand with that move. That's just part of it. I don't know how that'd ever be practical. I don't know anything about karate. I'm not qualified to be doing this. Karate rule number 5. Oh my God, please do not listen to me. I do not know what I'm talking about. I think I may legally need to say this. Yeah, that one's not very snappy. I see why they saved that for last. The final kata battle is pretty disappointing too, unfortunately. Not because they don't do any cool moves. The moves they do kick ass. I just kind of wish they had maybe taught us those. Why weren't any of these in the lesson? I want to learn the two-hand punch. I want to learn how to reload my arms. I want to learn, not that. Also, Tommy has a Pikachu tail on the back of his uniform. That's kind of weird. I would have assumed he would be a fighting type. Tommy Nitro. The Crimson Sausage don't even do karate, really. They just flail around until they fall over, and everyone just kind of agrees that means they lost. Which is convenient, honestly, because I have no idea how they were going to decide this otherwise. Is there a formal scoring system? Is Sensei Nobu the judge? That doesn't seem fair. He's over here making new Twitter reaction GIFs, and you want me to think he's unbiased? Could you imagine if that's how, like, real sports referees acted? After further review, the receiver maintains possession of this fat fucking L. That's a 69-yard penalty for clown behavior. LMAO. And then, despite the fact that, as we've now seen, they've got no karate knowledge, they just threaten to beat up Tommy anyway?
Let's see if you can deal with my fists of fury.
Enough! Karate is about using your head, and not your hands.
Oh man, really? I didn't see that. Where's that part of the mat?
And not your hands.
But in the end, Nobu threatens to use his head all over them. This guy tries really hard not to laugh, and Nobu leaves a special surprise for his students.
Whoa! It's the latest copy of Sensei Nobu!
And is that us?
Ugh, why do they look like that? I don't want to be in a comic book if I look like that. These are the kind of comic books they're going to start making movies out of now that the Avengers have arrested Kang for tax evasion. You can even tell it's from the Multiverse Saga because there's more of them in the background, and also that it looks like shit. They kind of look like Miis that you made of kids that you hated in middle school so that you could go home and beat them up in Wii Sports.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, fuck you, Scotty!
And that was Tommy Nitro's karate adventure. Did I learn anything about karate today? No, and neither did you. But I do think that these videos tend to flow better when they end with a more low-key segment like this, where the creator gives their summarizing thoughts on what they just watched. I thought it was fun. What about you? I liked how the windows of Tommy's house were trapezoids for some reason. That was kind of a silly choice. I didn't really have a joke about that, but I mean, it's weird, right? Fucking Dr. Seuss-ass architecture. Anyway, if you liked the video, please elbow strike the like and lunge punch the subscribe button. Maybe if they had taught us that cool-ass double punch, you could do both at once, but this'll have to do for now. Okay, bye! Cameron. Lunge punch. His ass cannot lunge punch.